Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm so glad you joined. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to crochet the legs and feet of our lovely goose, who I've named Hanhi. Before we get started, let's take a quick look at the finished project. Our little goose is 26 centimeters in height, 14 centimeters in width, and 9 centimeters in depth. So, grab your hooks and let's get started. For this project, we'll need the following tools and materials. Yarn in amber color, preferably cotton yarn. Yarn in white color, preferably cotton yarn. A crochet hook, I'm using a hook size 3.00 millimeters. A yarn needle for sewing the parts together. Stitch markers help mark the beginning of each round. Scissors. And finally, some stuffing to give our amigurumi its shape. To crochet the legs, we'll be making 2 identical pieces. Start with your amber color yarn and make a chain of 10 stitches. Then form a ring by joining the ends with a slip stitch. In this step, I'll show you how to make a slip stitch. Insert your hook into the first chain. Lay the leftover yarn tail across your stitches as you crochet the next round. This way, you'll hide it as you go and won't have to weave it in later. Now, yarn over. This simply means wrapping the yarn over your hook. For a slip stitch, you'll pull the yarn through the stitch and the loop on your hook in one smooth motion. You should have a ring of 10 stitches. Now from round 1 to round 6, make 10 single crochets around. That's 6 rounds of 10 stitches each. Make the first single crochet into the same stitch where you made the slip stitch to form the ring. Place the stitch marker to mark the beginning of this round. This is the stitch where we made the slip stitch to form the ring. We will skip this stitch and not work a single crochet into it. For round 2, make 10 single crochets around. For round 7, we'll increase the size slightly by working this pattern. 1 single crochet, then an increase, repeated 5 times. That will give us 15 stitches in this round. How to make an increase. In this step, I'm going to show you how to make an increase. Insert your hook into the stitch like this, under both loops. Pull up a loop, so you have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over, and pull through both loops to complete the first single crochet. Now, instead of moving to the next stitch, insert your hook back into the same stitch where you just worked. Pull up a loop again, 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over, and pull through both loops to finish the second single crochet in the same stitch. You've now completed an increase. Next, in round 8, crochet 4 single crochets and then an increase. Repeat this pattern 3 times to reach 18 stitches. Finally, in round 9, we'll do 2 single crochets and then an increase, repeated 6 times, for a total of 24 stitches. Now, instead of moving to the next stitch, insert your hook back into the same stitch where you just worked. For round 10, we're about to change from amber yarn to white yarn. To ensure a smooth color transition, the yarn color is changed during the last stitch of the previous round, which in this case is round 9. How to switch yarn colors? Here's how to do it. Start the last single crochet of round 9 as usual. Insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over with the amber yarn, and pull up a loop. You'll now have 2 loops on your hook. Instead of finishing this stitch with amber, drop the amber yarn and pick up the white yarn. Yarn over with the white yarn and pull through both loops on the hook to complete the stitch. Now the last stitch of round 9 is finished, and you've seamlessly switched to the white yarn. Pull both the amber and white yarn tails gently to tighten the stitch and secure the transition. Now we're ready to start round 10 using the white yarn. Work 24 single crochets around. To keep things tidy, I will crochet over the tails of both the amber and white yarn for the first few stitches of round 10. Or you can leave them and weave them in later with a yarn needle if you want. For round 11, work in the back loops only with 24 single crochets. This creates a nice ridge where we'll add feathers later. I'll show you how to crochet in the back loop only. Don't worry, it's simple, and I'll guide you through every step. How to crochet in the back loop only. Before we start, let's take a closer look at a stitch. Each stitch has 2 loops on top. A front loop, the one closer to the outside of your work, and a back loop, the one closer to the inside. Normally you'd work under both loops, but for this round, we'll work only into the back loop. Insert your hook under the back loop only of the first stitch. Yarn over and pull up a loop, so you have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over again and pull through both loops on the hook to complete the single crochet. Repeat this process for every stitch around. Each time, make sure to insert your hook under the back loop only, not both loops. By the end of round 11, you'll have 24 stitches worked in the back loop. As you finish this round, you'll notice a ridge forming on the outside of your work. This is the front loop from each stitch that we didn't use, and it creates the line that makes back loop only so special. This technique creates a ridge in your work, which will later be used to add the goose's feathers, like this. Continue with 24 single crochets for rounds 12 and 13. Once done, fasten off and cut the yarn for the first leg. To add feathers, attach your white yarn to the front loops of round 11. You can attach your white yarn to the front loops of any stitch in round 11. The specific stitch doesn't matter. Crochet around the leg using this pattern. Chain 3, then slip stitch into the next stitch. Repeat this all the way around for a total of 24 little feathers. Lay the leftover yarn tail on top of your stitches as you crochet, so you can hide it now and won't have to weave it in later. Or you can leave it and weave it in later with a yarn needle if you want. Repeat this step for the other leg, then cut the yarn and hide the threads. Start by adding a small amount of stuffing, then use something to press it down. I'm using scissors to gently pack it in and make it firm. Once it's compact, add more stuffing. For the second leg, crochet the same way, but don't cut the yarn at the end. We'll use it to join the legs in the next video when we make the body. Next, let's crochet the feet. Start with a magic ring and make 6 single crochets inside. First, let's start to make a magic ring. This part can seem tricky, but I'll go slow so you can follow along easily. Hold the end of your yarn in your left hand, letting it rest across your fingers. Wrap the yarn around your 2 fingers, index and middle, to create an X shape on top. Hold the crossover point between your thumb and finger to keep it steady. Slide your crochet hook under the first loop of the X, and hook onto the yarn that's behind it. Pull the yarn under the first loop to bring it through. Now twist your hook to create a small loop. Chain 1 stitch to secure the loop and hold the ring together. This helps stabilize the magic ring and sets up for your next stitches. To check if you've made the magic ring correctly, gently pull the short yarn tail. If it tightens the loop, you've done it right. Now pull the ring tight, and you should have a small circle of 6 stitches. For round 2, increase by doing 2 single crochets in each stitch around. You'll have 12 stitches now. Lay the leftover yarn tail across your stitches as you crochet the next round. This way, you'll hide it as you go and won't have to weave it in later. Place the stitch marker to mark the beginning of this round. Work 12 single crochets for round 3. round 4, follow this pattern. 1 single crochet, then an increase, repeated 6 times for 18 stitches. For round 5, make 18 single crochet around. In round 6, follow this pattern. 8 single crochet, then an increase, repeated 2 times for 20 stitches. Round 7 and 8, work 20 single crochet around. In round 9, to shape the foot, fold it in half and crochet 10 single crochets through both sides. This will close the foot. Now let's add the toes. Chain 2 and turn. For the first toe, crochet 1 double crochet and 1/2 double crochet in the first stitch, followed by 1 single crochet, 1 slip stitch, and 1 single crochet. How to make a double crochet. Now I'll show you how to make a double crochet. First, yarn over. This means wrapping the yarn over your hook from back to front. You should now have 2 loops on your hook. Next, insert your hook into the stitch. Make sure to go under both loops of the stitch. Yarn over again, and pull the yarn through the stitch. You now have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over one more time, and pull the yarn through the first 2 loops on your hook. Now you have 2 loops left on your hook. Yarn over once more, and pull the yarn through the remaining 2 loops on your hook. This completes your double crochet stitch. How to make a half double crochet. This is a versatile stitch that's taller than a single crochet, but shorter than a double crochet. To begin, yarn over. This means wrapping the yarn around your hook from back to front. You now have 2 loops on your hook. Insert your hook into the stitch. Make sure to go under both loops of the stitch. Yarn over again and pull the yarn through the stitch. You now have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over one more time, and pull the yarn through all 3 loops on your hook. This completes your half double crochet stitch. For the second toe, using the same pattern, crochet 1/2 double crochet, 1 double crochet, then 1/2 double crochet in the same stitch, followed by 1 single crochet, 1 slip stitch, and 1 single crochet. For the last toe, crochet 1 double crochet and 1/2 double crochet in the same stitch, followed by chain 2, then slip stitch in the last stitch. Once done, fasten off and leave a long tail so you can sew the feet to the legs later. And that's it. You've finished crocheting Hanhi's legs and feet. In the next video, we'll join the legs to create the body. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more beginner-friendly amigurumi projects. Happy crocheting and see you next time!